Hi guys, and welcome to my bed-in. Today I am going to be having a John Lennon themed day, and everything I do today I'm going to be doing in my bed because I am having a bed-in like what John Lennon and Yoko had. I've even decorated the walls slightly to match the scene. Please try to ignore those scuff marks here that I have on my wall where the paint has chipped away. Usually this is covered, so I don't usually have to see this. It's just a bit annoying that it's on show now for the camera. I usually have a sofa here. It's a sofa bed, and today I'm using it as a bed because I wanted to film this bed in. I wanted to do all my activities today in bed, and I don't actually have a TV in my bedroom, and some of the activities I have planned today involves watching the TV, so I've had to come into my spare room. I've been really looking forward to filming this John Lennon day because I am a big fan of the Beatles. I love John Lennon, and so I'm just so excited to just film my day with John Lennon activities. It is a bit of a strange story how I first became a fan of the Beatles. It's not the traditional growing up hearing their music story. I actually became a fan of the Beatles through Harry Potter, strangely enough. I really got into the character Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter, and then got into the actor who stars as him called Ian Hart. And I started watching some of Ian Hart's films, and two of his films he's portraying John Lennon. And it was after watching those films that I became interested in wanting to know more about the Beatles. So I started researching about them, listening to their music, and that was it. I just became hooked, and I've been a huge fan ever since. And for years I've been collecting a lot of Beatles merchandise. So I thought I'd start off my video today by showing you 5 of my favourite John Lennon items from my Beatle collection. If I was to go through the whole of my collection, it would take up the whole of this video. So that's why I've decided just to pick 5 items, and as this is a John Lennon inspired day, I've chosen 5 John Lennon items. So I'm going to start by showing you this picture. I really love this artwork. I'm not too sure who the artist is. This picture my parents brought me back from their holiday from Prague, so I'm not even too sure where they picked it up from. The other items I have to show you are a couple of key rings. I've got this John Lennon faced key ring here, and I also have this key ring with a picture of the piano on that John Lennon used in Imagine. The next 2 items are badges I picked up from the Hard Rock Cafe in Copenhagen. I have this one, another Imagine item where John Lennon is at the piano. And I also have this one. I can't decide which one I prefer, so I thought I'll show both. I also love this little John Lennon statue where he's dressed in his outfit from Sgt. Pepper. I just think this looks really cute. And the last items I have are Funko Pops. I have this one in the outfit John Lennon wore at the 1972 Madison Square Gardens concert in New York. And I have this Funko Pop. It was actually one of the first Funko Pops I bought, which is why I don't have it in the box. I prefer the look of this one because it's more detailed, but I also really love this one because it's one of my first and more of a rarer pop. I now plan to do some reading. John Lennon wrote 2 books, and I'm going to read one of his books now. This is the first book he had published, called In His Own Right, and this is his second book, A Spaniard in the Works. I really enjoy reading these books. They're very quirky and fun. They're basically nonsense books full of short stories and poems, and they also have a lot of John Lennon's drawings inside as well. There was no reason for Michael to be sad that morning, the little wretch. Everyone liked him, the scab. He'd had a hard day's night that day, for Michael was a cocky watchtower. His wife Bernie, who was well controlled, had wrapped his normal lunch, but he was still sad. It was strange for a man whom had everything and a wife to boot. At 4 o'clock, when his fire was burking brightly, a policeman had clubbed in to pass the time around. Good even, Michael. The police... so hard to say. The policeman speak. But Michael did not answer, for he was Deb and Duff, and could not speak. How's the wife, Michael? Spog the policeman. Shut up about that. I thought you were Deb and Duff, and could not speak, said the policeman. Now what am I going to do with all my Deb and Duff books, said Michael, realising straight away that here was a problem to be reckoned with. I find it really fun reading his work, but I realise now how hard it is to read his stories out loud. I thought I'd show you more of my John Lennon merchandise now, and what I thought would be fun to show is my John Lennon t-shirt collection. So I'm going to start with the top I'm wearing today. It's just got a picture of John Lennon's face on. It says John Lennon at the bottom. And on the back of the t-shirt here, this is supposed to be my name in Greek, because I got this t-shirt while I was on holiday in Athens. And it was from this shop where you could ask for whatever you wanted on the back of a t-shirt in Greek. So I just got my name. I have this t-shirt with the same image on like the badge I showed you. It's John at the piano, and I got this from the Hard Rock Cafe in Copenhagen. This is a t-shirt I think I got from H&M years ago, and it's of John Lennon and Yoko. This t-shirt my parents also brought me back from their holiday in Prague, which is where they also got that picture from I showed you. And it's just another artwork of John Lennon's face, and it says Prague at the bottom. I've got this vest top from H&M. I just love this picture of John Lennon on it, if you can see that properly. Top is a bit creased. There's the image. I also have this plain white t-shirt that says art is a way of survival, and underneath it says Imagine Yoko and then Yoko Ono. And I got this from an online shop called Yes Style. And the last top I got from River Island, and it's inspired by a t-shirt that John Lennon wore, and it says Come Together, which is one of the Beatles songs that John Lennon sings. And on the label at the bottom it says War Child. I also wanted to show you this hat I'm wearing today. It's a Beatles cap, and it's styled like the caps that John Lennon used to wear a lot in the mid-years of the Beatles, kind of like 1964. He used to wear these styled caps a lot. I also bought these glasses, also inspired by John Lennon. In the early years of the Beatles, he used to wear these black rimmed glasses, which he was inspired to wear because of Buddy Holly. And then I have a pair of his more classic granny styled glasses, and then some more round glasses. These are with tinier frames and they're coloured, which I also love. I picked these up from Liverpool. I'm now going to watch a film, and I'm going to watch How I Won the War, which is the debut film that John Lennon did without the Beatles. I find this film okay. It's not one of my favourite films. When I first saw it, I really didn't know what the heck was going on, because the storyline is quite silly and a bit all over the place. I think it's quite funny. It's got this dry British wit to it, which reminds me a bit of Monty Python. But the real reason why I enjoy it is because John Lennon is in the film. I wouldn't like it as much if he wasn't in it. He is in the majority of the scenes, but he doesn't have that many talking lines. But I haven't seen this film in a very long time, so I thought I'll watch it again today.
Weed? It's green, green, green.
Well, our officer calls me up and he says to me, Musketeer grip weed. He was a tall chap. Some would call him Weedy. I did. He said to me, and bear in mind, we're some few hundred miles behind enemy lines. He said, green, green, green. So I did.
A couple of facts about that film. John Lennon was given the round granny styled glasses for the role, and it was since then that John Lennon carried on wearing the glasses for the rest of his life, and they became a trademark public image for him. Also, the film was shot in Spain, and it was during the filming of that film that John Lennon wrote the song Strawberry Fields Forever. He said that apparently the song took him 6 weeks to write, as there was a lot of hanging around the set with nothing to do, so he spent his entire time working on the song. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some more reading, but I'm going to read from my book here. This is my John Lennon book, and it's full of really nice pictures. This is John Lennon on the set of How I Won the War with the granny styled glasses. Lennon and his first wife, Cynthia. And here actually is a bit of information of what I just said about John Lennon working on the song Strawberry Fields Forever while in Spain. John and his second wife, Yoko. John, Yoko, and Yoko's daughter. John with his oldest son, Julian. This is during the Beatles Shakespeare performance. John in his younger years. This was back when Pete Best was the drummer. John with his iconic cap. And we have the Beatles with Ed Sullivan. And it was drawn this year, 1964, which is my favourite appearance of John's. I think he looks so handsome in the mid-60s. I'm now going to listen to one of John Lennon's solo albums. I do have a CD in this room, so I'm just going to listen to it on CD, and I've chosen to listen to this album, which is John Lennon's first studio album, which is called John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, and it was released in December of 1970. It's actually one of my favourite of John Lennon's solo albums. I really just love all the songs on this album.
You had me, but I never had you. They hate you if you're clever, and they despise a fool. A working class hero is something to be. And though we both had been much thinner, she looked so beautiful I could eat her. Well, what am I supposed to be? Look at me. I was the walrus, but now I'm John.
I really could just spend hours and hours singing over two Beatles songs, their solo albums. I just love all of it. But yeah, any Beatles song, I can sing it. Not well, but I know the words. I'm going to end this John Lennon theme day by watching Imagine, which is a documentary film about John Lennon, which was released in 1988. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.